we go. We're live. We're going to talk about van life tonight with Joel Tapernew in Portugal. It's going to be really interesting. He's living in Portugal right now. I grew up with him in Tajikistan. You can see his WhatsApp here. We're about to call him. Just need to check on a few things. We grew up in Tajikistan together. What else can I say about that? His name is Joel Tapernew. He's from Switzerland. The first time I met him, the first time I met Joel, actually, I think he spoke more Tajik than English at the time. My mom was like, "You need to hang out with this guy." And I was like, "Okay, I guess so." And then we just became friends, I guess. And then, actually, we haven't seen each other in quite some time. But, I don't know. I thought his story sounded pretty interesting, and I thought maybe we'd talk about it. Alright, let's give him a call. See if he's online. Cohen also gave me some noodles here, so. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my gosh.
What did you expect?
Oh, that's so funny. Look at you. Look at that beard. Even the thing I just drew of you a little while ago was like less of a beard. Oh my god, dude. You look like
maybe
a...
I need to...
Cohen, come look at him for a second. You meet Cohen really quick, okay?
Yeah.
This is my wife.
Hi.
Hi,
Look at his beard.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Did you just take a shower in some lake somewhere?
No, I just went swimming in the ocean like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, nice. Lucky.
Oh, so lucky.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I thought I need some refreshment before the big interview.
That's
I
right.
appreciate that.
I'm in the room, but I'm working on some other stuff, so good luck with your interview.
Well, thank you.
There's
I'm
no
very
right
excited.
or wrong answers. It's not a quiz.
It is a quiz.
Okay.
Man,
Well, let's hope I succeed then.
yeah, I hope if you do, there's a prize. That prize is you get to keep whatever portrait I draw of you for free.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's your lucky day. But, Joel, is your name even Joel still? Is that...
It is, yeah, it is, Joel.
Okay.
Well,
Joel.
what is it? Joel the Mole, but he's also way cool.
Joel the Bull.
No, Joel the Mole. We would
Joel
say
the
that.
Mole. Oh my...
Joel.
Really? Way back? Oh man, how long has it even been since we've talked together?
Well, in person, I don't know. When did you leave Tajikistan? Like, was that 04 or?
Yeah, I think 2000.
Or 05?
I feel like I graduated college in 2014, so 2010 I went to college. 2008 I graduated high school. 2006 I left Tajikistan.
Okay, so yeah, 14 years.
That's great. Actually, I don't think we've been on a call since then.
No,
Have we?
well, I think we've talked a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, we came kind of close to seeing each other this spring.
That's right. Yeah.
When I considered coming to South Korea.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Which
but
then didn't work out.
that's right. I know. We can talk about. I have maybe some noodles here. So.
Ooh, enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe I should eat something as well, huh?
Yeah. If you have lunch, we can eat together. Honestly,
Is that
though.
dinner for you then?
Yeah, it's dinner here. You're looking good. I feel like this wild like farmer look is quite impressive, actually.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna eat anything because I think service is better here. Anyway, I wasn't sure which backyard to choose from, so here we go. I think I chose this backyard. Is that something we can get behind?
That's unbelievable. I can't believe that you're living in a van right now. That looks so amazing.
Yeah, this is probably the most amazing spot I've been to so far. So this is him. It's called Daniel.
Daniel.
Or Danu, which is kind of like a Swiss slang for short for Daniel. This is where I am right now.
This is so cool. And you're in Portugal.
Yeah. So this is kind of north here, and this is the West Algarve. It's a very famous spot for surfing. If you look at the waves here, you can. There's a lot of surfers here right now because now is the season of surfing. But I don't surf, and also around the surf spots, you never find a place as lonely as this one. So I choose to find these spots. And so basically, for the last couple of days, we started somewhere up there, and just kind of drove down the entire coast, finding amazing spots like this. And then staying a couple of days.
That's amazing.
Until
I mean, can we get a tour of the van?
Oh yeah, sure. So are we like live on Instagram right now, or is
So-
that's what I'm calling?
Yeah, so we're not
What-
live
what-
on Instagram, we're live on YouTube. There's,
Oh wow.
yeah, even better. There's only one person, 2 people watching right now, so
Okay.
But-
Hi guys.
it might take a little bit of time. Maybe a few more people will join, hopefully, but
Okay. Sure. Okay. Well, let me give you a tour of the van. Well, so this is this is just for show right now.
yeah,
It's a bit windy.
yeah.
When we came yesterday, there was no wind. It's just a perfect sunset over there. But now it's a bit windy. You have to work with what we got. Anyway, this is the van. Just a regular T4. I have a friend traveling with me right now, so that's her stuff. And
Oh,
I quickly
amazing.
cleaned up the entire thing to
Yes.
make a nice.
What? How can anyone live in there? There's 2 of you?
Yeah, no worry. Okay, so this is the living room. Yeah, welcome to the living room. We have a nice sofa here. I can sit on the sofa,
Wow.
and then I have this view here.
Oh, that's quite a nice view.
It's also kind of the office at the same time, mostly for bad weather. If it's good weather, my office is over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
That little rickety table that can fold up. Does
so
the table and chairs
What?
fit in the van?
yeah. So all of this is foldable. And when we go back here, this is the kitchen. We have a nice what do you call it? Here. Gas
Ah,
station
nice.
Here I have another system here. Lots of storage room. Here's my stuff. Food. Some water. And so this is where I cook, and technically in bad weather I could also cook here from the inside. Because all of this, I can also access all of this from the inside.
Wow.
It's more fun to
That's so.
here.
I didn't even think actually that you would be carrying food with you. Actually, honestly.
No. Here, you look at this. We have a lot of storage space here.
Oh wow.
This will probably last me a couple of days.
Couple of
So,
days,
yeah,
and then what are you gonna?
We had a mango this morning, but unfortunately it wasn't good. So we had to throw that away. But other than that, we're living very well. What else can I show you? So there's more storage space here, like, for hygiene and clothes, and then so technically, this is where the food was on the other side, remember? So
Yeah.
I have some more stuff here. It's actually almost too much storage space to have. But,
It's just
especially with two people, it does.
Thanks for
does
joining,
fill
Don.
up. Okay, so now, let me just a second.
No worries.
So, say sun sets, and it gets dark, and then we can take this away, just put it somewhere here,
Yeah.
something like this, and then welcome to the bedroom, right?
Can we get like a wide view? Oh, so that's the bed right there.
Yeah, let me here we go. So, I'm,
Or actually, could you keep it vertical? Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm 1.78 m, which I don't know how much feet that translates to, but the bed is a little bit short, so I
Yeah.
kind of sleep diagonally like this.
Yeah.
But if you're a little bit smaller, then that should work. And so now you may wonder, okay, well, Joel is traveling with a friend right now. Where is she sleeping? So you may have noticed that with these two elements
Yeah.
that basically make the back of the sofa,
Yeah.
you can play Tetris right here and right here, and then all of this fills up to a second mattress.
So you could really
So
even
when
fit
you're
3
two
people.
you can have all of this as a mattress space. You can just, both people can sleep here quite comfortably. But if you're alone, which I really appreciate, because I'm not always traveling with other people,
Yeah.
then I can have this, and this kind of gives me like a living space where, especially in bad weather, it's very cool that I can just come here, walk in here, sit in here, enjoy the view, and live here. Because if everything is just mattress, then it kind of fills up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Joe, I have so many questions for you.
I have solar panels here.
No way.
That translates to a little bit of electricity. Here, it looks, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, solar panels are charging, batteries full. I have a couple of lights up here, back here. This here is a light as well. I have 3 12-volt charging hubs with which I can charge basically everything except for my drone, because I don't have the 12-volt charging thing for my drone. I actually bought it, but unfortunately it only came after I left. But so far I haven't really, it's been alright. Like this here, I think I hope to find a few minutes of flight time, but other than that, I just have to, go to a cafe or something and reach. And that's how I do it so far.
Dude, look at you. You look like a painting or something. I feel like you look like for like Van Gogh or something.
Well, if you want, I can stand really still for 5 minutes, and then you can.
Then I can draw you.
Your portrait.
Oh yes. Oh, so let me take a screenshot really quick.
Okay. Let's do it later. Eat first.
There we go. Anyway, so I do have a lot of questions for you.
Okay. Well, start with with the one you feel the most comfortable. Just start.
Okay. So first of all, I mean, where do you guys where do you shower? Besides the ocean. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, a couple of days ago, we were actually at a lake, so that's good. Sometimes there's public showers, which are right now all closed because of Corona.
Yeah.
Where else do I shower? Well, actually, we have a bucket of water with a hose that you can use, but actually, honestly, I've never really used it.
Oh.
We have wet tissues, just for the important places, and then you realize that you don't need to shower every day.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's right.
But
I mean,
maybe one shower more per week would maybe be nice, but works all right.
Can you give us like a little rough breakdown? How did you get? Is this something you've been wanting to do for a long time, or how did you get yourself into this situation, or like, what were you doing before this?
So this is actually where do I start? Okay, it's because it's quite a hilarious story. Okay, so I think we have to go back maybe like 2 years or so. I was studying music teaching, but I wasn't really happy with first of all studying and second of all teaching. I was teaching on the side to make some money. And I told myself, well, after you're done studying, because I was into a lot of like obligations, like there I was involved in my church and things and everything, and I was kind of fed up with that. I had to do so many things, like my schedule was packed and everything.
Yeah,
it's kind of a typical van life story, actually. Now that I think of it, and I told myself, okay, after you're done studying, you're just gonna take some time and do whatever you want, or follow your passions, because at the same time, I had all my photography and film and hiking and adventure passion that was always kind of in competition with all the things that I had to do.
Yeah.
So I finished studying, and then I had another half a year of civil service, which is kind of like because the military service is still mandatory in Switzerland, but you can opt out of it by doing civil service. So I did that in a what do you call it, forestry maybe, like a lumberjack
Oh.
company somewhere in the
And
mountains,
that's
which was
what.
pretty cool.
Is that where the look came
Because
from?
I was out in the mountains and in the forest every day outside, so I think that that it was really good for me.
Yeah.
And that also made me some money. So I saved up quite some money, and with that money, mostly I told myself in 2020 I'll just buy myself time to follow my passions or follow wherever the path leads me. And one idea was to kind of professionalize on filmmaking, and to be honest, so far it hasn't really worked out that well. Also because I've been too lazy for that.
Honestly, though, I've always been so impressed with everything that's on your Instagram, like especially with the drone footage. It's so like you. I mean, if anything, you should sell it like on stock footage online or something. Maybe you already are. I don't know. You should.
Oh yeah. Well, I have some footage on stock on stock exchange, one or two stock places. But
Yeah.
I think all these things I would have to pursue with a bit more focus. I would have to really sit down, learn a bit more the craft of filmmaking, really do the whole upload everything on stock footage and everything. And I've tried it, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get to that. But so far, basically been just doing what comes to what falls onto my path, which brings me to the next thing. I went traveling through Southeast Asia, and then Corona came, and after 1 or 2 months, I actually got stuck in Laos. Unless you have questions on that, I don't want to get too much into that. But
why is that?
I had a great time. I actually filmed. I don't know if you saw it. I filmed the whole thing because I didn't have anything else to do. So if people are interested, the two people that are watching right now, maybe you could just send the link there.
I'll put the link up.
So I had a great time, and
I love that video.
I got back in June in the middle of June. The thing is with Laos, because it's such a small country and there's not a lot of international flights, it was quite difficult to find something that would bring me back to Europe. It's not like in Spain where, they had the lockdown, but if you came from Germany, you were still able to go to Germany from Spain. If all else failed, you could just walk,
Yeah.
So I went back to Switzerland for summer, which was originally the plan, because I told myself, well, in summer I don't need to be somewhere in the beach. I can just be in the Swiss mountains, which is amazing itself as well. And I came back a little later, actually, than I had intended. I did another month of that civil service, so now I'm all done with that. And then, I just did some hiking, some adventures, some whatever I felt like doing. Also, I did some substitute teaching to earn some money. Like I kind of felt like, maybe I should earn some money or do something productive, like how we always think in the Western world.
Yeah.
And then I saw this offer that they were looking for a substitute teacher, actually, like right in the next bigger town. So that was a perfect opportunity. And then at some point I thought, hey, you know what, like a van could be a pretty cool thing. No, I mean it would really fit my style, I would say. And I've been following all these people that converted a car into their van, and we're now living in a van, so I was quite inspired by that. So one day I just started opening some tabs on would that cost, and how much would that cost? Like, are there already vans that you can buy? And or do you want to convert something yourself? And then I thought, well, to convert something, I kind of need to know what I want. Like, do I need a toilet or a shower in my van or not? What do I really need, right? So maybe how about we rent something? And then there's the companies that rent out vans, or like the big caravans, and those are super expensive and also quite big.
Yeah.
And then there's things like Airbnb or whatever, where private people just rent their van out for some time.
Oh, really? You can find that on Airbnb?
While they're not using it. Sorry?
You can find that on Airbnb?
No, actually, yes. I met a few people here that are driving around with a Portuguese license number, and I asked them, and they found this on Airbnb.
No way.
Like there's this option you have to, like, what kind of apartment do you want? A villa? Do you want an apartment or something? You actually have an option for camper van. Apparently.
Wow.
Apparently, but I was on another site, something more specific for vans. Anyway, And it's also kind of expensive, and it wasn't really the time yet. So you know how it is. At some point, you just close all the tabs.
Yeah.
And think you'll think about this later another day. And then, funny enough, a day later, I see an Instagram story that from someone that I follow, and she reposted that Instagram story from a Swiss couple looking for someone to how should I say it without. Well, they basically needed someone to babysit their van.
Yeah.
And now I have to kind of switch the perspective to them. Meet a Swiss couple, a little bit older than me, like in their, about our age.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been hitchhiking around the world, or that was their idea. They started also shortly before Corona, like in December 19. They hitchhiked, I think, all the way to Spain, and then with a sailing ship, made it all the way to the Canary Islands.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, they actually wanted to go across the Pacific, the Atlantic, but that kind of didn't work. And then they traveled through Morocco. And then Corona came. They went back to Switzerland to work a little bit. And then it was their idea to, they also had this idea of a van.
Yeah.
So they found this van. They did a few adjustments to it, but mostly it was already built to live in it. And then they started driving around this van. I think as soon as the lockdown lifted, like in June or something.
Yeah.
They drove around all of Eastern Europe, came back to Middle and Central Europe, and then went to Spain. But their idea, in general, is to basically hitchhike around the entire world without using any flights.
Wow.
To just or like get around the world without using any flights. So the way you get across the Atlantic is with a sailing ship. And basically it was already the idea the last time, but this time they wanted to try again.
Mm-hmm.
So they had their van, so they drove with their van to either Spain or Portugal, and then there they would hitchhike onto a sailing ship. But then they had a van that you can't just leave it on a parking lot in Portugal.
Yeah.
So they need someone to bring it back to Switzerland and then park it, I think, at their parents' house or something. And that's where I come in. So I saw this story, and I was like, if this is not a sign, then I don't know what is. So I started talking to them, and we planned this whole thing.
But were you in Switzerland at the time?
Because, I was in Switzerland, or Germany, like doing some holidays in the mountains in Germany.
Okay.
To be specific, but because I don't have any fixed schedule, like I don't really work anything fixed at the moment. I had time,
Yeah.
And so the deal was or is that. Or like I flew to Lisbon. They picked me up. We drove all the way down to south of Portugal. Then they spent like 1 or 2 weeks trying to find a sailing ship, and I was doing some other things, and that was super inspiring for me in the first place because I came down to be like, okay, you're gonna get to know that van life, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing I actually get to know is the sailing life because
Wow.
we started talking to all these sailor people, and basically the vibes are quite similar. Like, you also have your home wherever you are, and you can go wherever you are, kind of. It's just you're on the ocean and not on the roads. So that was also super, super inspiring to get to know these people and, lots of ideas. Oh, man, I want to try this as well, try to hitchhike across the Atlantic and things like that. And the vibes usually just, like, the people are so friendly and you help each other. And I remember for a week I actually stayed on a sailing ship with this one sailor that we got to know, and we were anchoring on a bay that was like there were like another 5 or 6 ships there.
Yeah.
And every evening we would just go to one of these ships or that ship, or they would come over, and we would just hang out together, And it's funny because you kind of like you're neighbors, but still quite far. But you can still you take your little boat, the dinghy they call it, and then just go over there and help each other out. And we got to know some cool people.
Yeah.
And also opportunities, like with this one ship, we went sailing one day to test out a new sail, or not a new sail, but it was like a special kind of sail that was sponsored to them. And my goal was to take drone footage of that sailing, of that what do you call it, of that sail basically, or the sailing ship sailing.
Yeah.
So I took some
I saw that
photos
footage.
and some videos, and the photos Now, another guy that was anchoring on another boat there, he's writing an article about that boat because it's completely self-sustained and fossil-free and everything.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. So he's writing an article, and I can contribute with my photos to that.
Wow.
And it's what does he say? The biggest sailing magazine in Europe, which is pretty cool. And all this stuff happened, and all these contacts say, well, now you have to take back the van, but if you ever want to sail with us, then you can just call us up and come, and we'll see wherever we are.
Wow.
So things like that happened, and then eventually the other two found someone that took them to first Madeira. And then from there, I think they found someone that took them to like the bigger island of Madeira, and then from there they found someone taking them to the Canary Islands, and then now they're actually there. They found a ship. I think it's two Danish people, a Danish couple, with whom they can cross the Atlantic in
Wow.
I think 1 or 2 weeks time when the seasonal window opens.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that was almost I think a month ago now.
So you didn't know them
and then
before this? You just contacted them Instagram and was like, "Hey, I'll drive your van back to Switzerland."
Yeah. Well, they said, is anyone following us who could drive back the van? And yeah, I mean, probably a lot of people would love to do it, but everyone's caught up in their job and other obligations, and I have no job, so I have the freedom to do these kind of things. I can just come down to Lisbon and pick up your car. So the deal is, I give them the service of bringing back their car. And in return, I get to live in the van for a couple of weeks or months. So yeah, it'll be like 1.5 months by the end of November. So in 2 or 3 weeks, I have to bring it back.
Oh, how long does it take to get back from Portugal to Switzerland?
Well, yeah, I haven't really thought about that yet, but end of November is like in 2 or 3 weeks. So, well, it kind of depends on how long shifts you want to take. It also depends on my friend if she wants to come back to Switzerland with me or if she wants to stay here because.
Where is she? Where is she?
Well,
is she like hiding behind a rock somewhere or something?
No, I can show you. Because if she drives as well, then we can do like, I don't know, a 16-hour shift, and then it's probably going to take like 2 days or something.
Oh, wow, so quick.
If I have to drive alone, and I don't know about Corona, like if I have to stay on the highways or if I can just go through the countries.
Can you just cross borders right now?
Anyway, can I zoom in here? I'm not sure. Okay,
well,
so
please do.
You don't really see her. She's somewhere there hanging out. Because we were down by the beach.
Oh,
before,
okay. Oh, thanks for coming up.
And I came back up here for the interview, but because there's no service down there, and also no van.
Yeah.
But she wants to stay there.
Yeah, I wanted to see the van. That's so crazy. Wait, so have you... Did you fly to Portugal, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I flew to Lisbon.
Has it been weird at all with coronavirus and doing this, or has it been pretty normal?
No, it's been. Well, first of all, I can't compare it to how it usually is. Also in Laos and the Philippines, I was told, well, all the Chinese and Koreans aren't there anymore. It was January.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to compare to how it usually is. So, I came down here when things were just starting to getting a little bit more restricted again in all of Europe.
Yeah.
But especially Portugal stayed quite open, or is still a bit more open than everything else. Like, Spain went into lockdown now. France is kind of in a lockdown. Austria's in a lockdown. Most countries nowadays are kind of in a lockdown. And Portugal stayed a little bit more open. And because of that, I think there's actually more people here than usual. Like, because there's a lot of people living in their vans, and in winter they just go down to Spain, to the south of Spain, where it's quite nice. And so all these people, I think, are here now. So there might be actually even more people than usual. And then, I'm sorry, I have to close the back door. And then, how is it? We do feel Corona here, and they actually started to go into like regional lockdowns as well. But as far as I understand it, it's still a little bit more relaxed. Like on weekends, you have a curfew from 1 p.m. Like 1 in the afternoon to I think 8 in the afternoon, 8 in the morning the next day, something like that. Where you're not supposed to go out, but if you have to go buy food, you can go. If you have to walk your dog, you can go outside.
Nice.
Or even if you have to just go and take a short walk yourself, you can go.
Yeah. Are people wearing masks?
And, in shops, and when I came, it was only shops and public transports, like in many other countries in Europe. But now it's also like just outside, as soon as you're outside. But with like an interpretation margin, like, you know, if I'm all alone out here, then I don't need to wear a mask. You know, just whenever I can't keep that social distance.
Yeah.
So with all of the corona thing, I think already before, like during the first lockdown, it's kind of, I feel it comes down a lot to attitude, like how you go about it. Like I remember in the first lockdown in Laos, a lot of people were scared, you know, the uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I kind of decided to not let myself be scared so much of that, because also, you know, I was financially stable. Like, I still have a lot of that money left that I saved.
Yeah.
And now again, you know, you know, you can't go to the restaurants anymore. Maybe you can't go to the bars anymore. Like, or they have to close at 10 p.m. I think that's what lockdown means here. Or you can't buy alcohol in the shops after 8 p.m. But, you know,
that keeps coronavirus
just
away.
buy it before 8 p.m. and then you're good, you know. Then don't go shopping on Sundays. Go shopping on Mondays. I mean,
well, problem solver right here.
I see a lot of people, like, you know, like scared of what can happen, or oh no, now they're closing again. And I think about, you know, I can still do this, right?
Yeah.
So
look at that. What a view.
You know, nothing really changes for me. I have to wear a mask when I go shopping. Okay, so what?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is something. If, like, you know, if everyone did this, then maybe there would be some other problems. Or if it's always going to be like this, you know, maybe Portugal is going to go into a hard lockdown, and we really won't be able to move, because they had a small lockdown during some holidays where you weren't supposed to leave your region. And then especially all the van lifers were like, well, does it apply to us or not? Because it kind of says, like, you're not supposed to leave your region of residence, but we don't have any region of residence, do we? So there's uncertainty, but I kind of learned to kind of live with this uncertainty, or, you know, like, also more generally, like for my life this year, that was kind of the lesson to, you know, uncertainty isn't bad. If you treat it as an opportunity, which so far it's been more of an opportunity for me, you know.
That's such a good statement. Uncertainty isn't bad, and if you, what did you just say? If you're open to opportunity, or see it as opportunity. Anyways, though, how, like, with van lifer, you said van lifers, right?
Yeah.
Is there?
I don't know if that's the correct term, but
I mean, I don't know anything about people that live in vans, but it sounds like a cool term. Like, how do you connect with people like that? Is there?
Well, for one of the ways.
Do you guys, like, have to fight over spaces like the one you have? Is that? No. Usually I don't go to those places where I have to fight. For those places. I mean, but yeah, you meet them in the places you go to, like some, you know, parking lots or something, because this is something else, right? Sometimes you just park in the parking lot. I mean, I've slept at shopping malls parking lots before as well, or been cooked there because we're too lazy to find something else. Things like that. So I meet them there sometimes, I also met a few ones on Facebook, like, you know, some Facebook groups about van lifers in Portugal, or van lifers this and that. And because for the first week or so, I was basically just chilling by myself. And at some point, I got a bit lonely, or I felt like, you know, it'd be cool to get to know other people. Yeah. And the way I get to know people, or the way that I know how to do it, is to go to a hostel, and then you meet people there. That's how you do it when you're backpacking. Yeah. But then I just wrote into a couple of Facebook groups, and I met some people. So with one van lifer, I actually traveled around for 2 weeks. Yeah. Just going here and there, and you know, that's awesome. Like, you both had vans?
None of us. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So she was living in her, but she's been living in that van for 2.5 years.
No
so she
way.
Like, works on the road. So So, which is pretty cool. All she needs is good internet service, and then she can just work from anywhere she wants.
That's wild.
And that's also kind of why we've been traveling around for 2 weeks, because she was like, "Hey, you want to go there? Yeah, sure, let's go there."
Yeah.
Why not?
Wi-Fi there.
What's stopping us? Yeah. So and then because she's been living this life for a while, she kind of knows you could call the scene.
Yeah.
Like, she knows a lot of people. Like, she sometimes just meets people on the beach and is like, "Hey, oh yeah, it's you." And
Wow.
and then, similar to the whole sailing ship community, we get invited to dinner there, and then, or we travel around, 3 of us or 4 of us for a while, and then they want to go there, but we want to go here. So yeah, but then you meet again later.
That's awesome. What would you say is
pretty cool.
What's like some of the, like, thinking of people that have never experienced band life, being culture, or like the style, or like what it's like? What would you say, like, something that's like people really wouldn't expect, like how easy it is to meet people, or how hard it is actually, or how easy it is, or
Well, to be honest, I've been living for only months now, so maybe I'm not the correct person to answer this.
Okay.
Something unexpected.
or maybe something people assume that's just, or don't assume.
Well, funny enough, I've actually been asked the shower question before, like a couple of times. Or like a friend asked me, "Well, if you have to go poop, how do you do
Yeah.
it?" I don't know if that is something that concerns people, but for me, because I do
It
the whole
concerns a lot of people.
hiking adventure.
Oh yeah.
I've been pooping out in nature for years, so that's not
I
really.
guess you were made for this.
For me.
Wait, so is there like a pooping location right now where you're at?
No.
There's
I
no.
mean, sometimes there's public toilets.
Oh, okay.
And then I really like to use public toilets also because I don't want to pollute nature too much. So, like, toilet paper, I take it with me and actually put it in the trash.
Oh, nice.
And then
That's thoughtful of you.
wait, let me see. I feel like a grandpa. Something. Here we go. Yeah. So that's the toilet.
Okay, perfect.
And that's the toilet too. And you have to go poop, then that's over there.
Do you always have toilet paper?
Yeah. Oh, actually, it almost ran out a couple of days ago. But then we just got like a big, you can't buy 1 roll of toilet paper, which is kind of annoying, or 2. It's always like 8 or something,
right,
which is way too much.
Or like 32.
I don't think we'll finish 8 rolls of toilet paper. Yeah.
What's been one of the hardest things that you didn't expect? Or even if, it doesn't even matter if you didn't expect it. Just what's been one of the hardest?
That is hard. Well, I mean, one of the things that is a topic for every van lifer is loneliness. You could probably say that. I've been talking to with other people as well, because you meet a lot of amazing people on the road, and with some you share a really deep connection, and you end up traveling for a couple of weeks. But eventually, your paths will not cross, but diverge, right? Is that how you say diverge?
Yeah.
And of course, you meet them again and everything, but it's something else to have a person or people in your life that are always there for you, that you can always visit, or that you see regularly. And I feel like, or at least I've only been doing this for 1 month, but I feel like if I would live in a van indefinitely, then this would probably be one of the harder things to find meaningful and deep relationships that I can maintain on the road, that I can always come back to, and where I feel, I don't know, whatever you need from relationship, right? Like connection.
Someone just seeing you.
Sorry?
I said just being like perceived by someone.
Yeah.
Being with someone.
And I guess it can change. I guess it's a different thing maybe if you're traveling, like I don't know, with your spouse, like if you two would do it. I mean, I met people that even had small children
Wow.
that were living in vans.
That's wild.
So you get that there. And of course, even if you don't live in a van and you live in your flat, then meaningful, deep relationships is still a challenge.
Yeah.
But if you live in a van, then there's just this other obstacle of your urge, because that also comes from you, right? Your urge my urge to be here in this amazing spot now, but maybe in a couple of days I want to continue onwards.
Yeah.
And maybe I want, and you know, you want to meet people. This is like the other side of the coin, which is very beautiful. But yeah, I feel like just for me personally, this would maybe be the hardest thing. And then I have been told by mountaineers, like mountain guys, that this whole, you know, go to the bathroom out in nature, at some point it starts to wear you down. Like, you know, with age, I think the older you get, the more comfort you feel you need. Like at some point, you know, this is very rustical. This is very minimalistic.
I mean, do you squat? Do you have to squat? Or do
I squat. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I learned that in Tajikistan. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, especially with a small van like this that I have, you could call it more of a good weather van, because I experienced this 1 or 2 times here. When it rains for like 1 or 2 days, then it's not so fun anymore, right? Because first of all of this here, you know, this gets dirty here. You can't really clean it because it's wet. And then, like I said, you can cook from the inside. You can access all the food here, but still, it's not as fun. And you know, all the humidity, it stays in the van. And then if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go into the rain and everything.
Oh man.
So in there, maybe you'll want a bigger van where you have all these things inside, like a real kitchen. You have a bathroom system or a shower system or something. Or you know, if you need to have a shower every day, then this doesn't work, right? or you just go to the camping, like the official campsites all the time. But then that's going to cost you. And one of the reasons, or one of the things that's amazing about van life is the cost of living, because you know, you buy your house once, and depending on your need, you know, you buy something more expensive or less. And then if you don't drive around too much, you don't use too much fuel. Like if I stayed here for a couple of days, I wouldn't spend anything.
Wow.
I have to go get water at some point and maybe some food.
Maybe toilet paper.
And maybe, like, you know, if I drive around, I have maintenance on the car. That's just like maintenance on my flat that I have to do sometimes. So I don't pay any rent, which is amazing.
Do you ever
that's
get
definitely one of the upsides.
Oh, I have two questions. Quick, how long have you been at this location?
Well, we came here yesterday.
Oh,
yesterday evening. I was so amazed by this location that I just did a short video with my phone and instantly uploaded it to Instagram. And usually, like, my photos and my reels, you know, you take a couple of sometimes even hours to like, you know, I edit and sound design and everything and blah blah blah. And I was just like, this is gonna be a reel. And it's not performing too bad, actually.
Oh, amazing.
But we're planning to stay here at least till tomorrow, and then we'll see.
Oh, it sounds honestly, it does sound like a lot of fun. What would you say is like one of the best parts? Okay. Yeah, I mean.
No, I don't know. I actually have to think about it. There's so many best parts. Well, of course, you know, I love nature, so this is great for me. And it's like, you know, I talked about loneliness just before, but also being by myself. Solitude is like the positive, you know, the power of being alone. And I also really enjoy this. So I really enjoy being alone. I have my space here. This is like my kingdom or my backyard. I can sing. I can go skinny dipping or whatever I want. I can do whatever I want, you know. With limitations, of course. But this, you know,
what limitations? You can't fly?
I can't fly, and the ocean is the end. But it's just the whole concept of the freedom of it, and that's what also. That's what I love, which is funny because I saw these parallels in like my adventurism is like what I like about the things I do is I have everything in my backpack. I can just hike wherever I want. I can stop wherever I want. I can eat wherever I want. So if I find something, a place that I like, I just stay there. The same thing with van living. Same thing with sailing. If you find a bay that you like, then you can just stay there.
Yeah.
And the only thing limiting you is maybe your supplies, and on the ocean also the weather. But the freedom to go wherever you want, to find places that, or like to stay in these places as well, because you can hike here.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a tent, which I would,
Yeah.
in my case, then you need to find a bed again. Like you're limited. I can stay here for sunrise, for sunset, for the night. We had a beautiful night sky with the Milky Way this night.
Wow.
Yeah, just the freedom, I would say.
I mean,
the notion of freedom.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like, we know what freedom is, and often, like, I feel like when people talk about freedom, it's always something with, like, about, like, government or something like that, or, like, having freedom of speech, or freedom of, like, not being a prisoner, or not being a slave or something, but this is, like, such a different type of freedom. Like, it's the same, it's sad almost in a sense that we have to use the same word for it, But this almost sounds more like the true meaning of freedom.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like I said, it comes with limitations in a way that, I don't have unlimited space for tons of clothes.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been wearing this tank top for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. Which is actually
But there's a lot of things I feel like, and this is what everyone else says when I talk to them that live in a van or have a similar lifestyle, is you realize how little you actually need.
Yeah.
You don't my flip-flops broke the other day. And I was like, okay, as soon as we find a decathlon, like an outdoor shop, I'm gonna buy new flip-flops.
Yeah.
And yesterday I told Angelica with whom I'm traveling, maybe I'm not gonna buy new flip-flops because I have these sandals here.
Oh, okay.
So actually I'm good. I have all I need. Why would I need flip-flops? So yeah, I think this is also one important factor about the freedom is the less you need. The freer you are, because the more you need, the more, this is where you get into I call it the hamster wheel. You need a house, you need food, you need your nice clothes, you need this.
Yeah.
This all costs money, so you need to work for that money and blah blah. If you don't need all these things, you need a lot less money. I think Eileen, the other van lifer that's been living in her van for 2.5 months, I think years. I think she lives off. What is it? Maybe €1,000 a month or something.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah, which is in Switzerland it would be nothing. It would barely cost rent, pay rent, and then in Germany maybe a little bit more. But she has a van. She has it's quite nicely decorated. She has 2 dogs that she takes care of.
Wow.
And also, if she gets bored of her backyard, she could just change it.
That's right. Well, it's interesting. It reminds me, I forget where I heard it, but I remember someone saying once that, like, freedom is found in discipline, which is interesting because it kind of sounds like a paradox. Because I think a lot of times people do feel like, I feel free, like I want the freedom to sleep in as long as I want, or I want the freedom to be able to eat as much as I want, or I want the freedom to be able to, like, spend as much money as I want. But often, the more disciplined you are with yourself, the more free you are to do what you want yourself. I mean, maybe it's a little different, but I do think it's similar to what you're talking about. Like, because it does, in one sense, someone can look at what your life is and be like, you're so limited. Like, you can't go. I mean, I don't know what kind of superstores they have in Europe, but like, you can't go to Walmart or something whenever you want, or there's not like every type of food you want right now, or you don't have a public toilet you can go to. But but there is so much freedom in that, in a weird way.
Yeah. Well, I would say that the freedom that comes when you learn to discipline yourself is again another kind of type of freedom. But I completely agree.
Yeah.
If you can discipline yourself to work out, then you're free to, your body will be healthy. If you don't have the discipline to work out, then once you turn 40, all the pains will start coming here and there.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff,
If you have a kid,
and in that respect, I actually read a beautiful quote the other day from someone I follow on Instagram. Is that flow is the sweet spot between discipline and surrender. So you discipline yourself to achieve your goals or to pursue what your passion is or to do what you have to do. I mean, you have a wife and your kids that you need to take care of. But, I don't have that. So you need some discipline. You can't just say, whatever, I do whatever I want. I'm going to go live in a van. You guys have fun,
Bye, Colin. I'll see you later.
So yeah, and she has to take care of a kid too. But so you need some discipline in your life. But also, and that's what I would say. That's what I've been learning this year is when I would maybe call it surrender. But if you're open to opportunities, if you keep your eyes open to what can I do? If there's a lot of opportunities not to do the 9 to 5. There's many ways to, especially in Europe, especially I come from one of the richest countries in the world. I can just save money working in a bar,
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to make money outside of the 9 to 5 to finance your passions or to find a way of living that you like. And that's kind of what I've been doing is trying to not plan too much or okay, I'm going to find a job that I'll be working on for the next 2 years. But, be open for things that happen or things opportunities that arise, like this opportunity.
Yeah.
And then I think beautiful things can happen.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask this. I'll ask it anyways, but just what do you feel like, I mean, I feel like we've kind of answered it, but are there any other things that you feel like you've learned from living in this van life?
That I've learned from living.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to just be about the van life, but...
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't really know. I can't really say. Well, maybe I got to appreciate Facebook groups because I found a lot of good contacts in Facebook groups and already for the future, I can talk about this later. I already have new projects that have arisen. But yeah, about life lessons. I think this whole van life story is embedded into this entire year of me going to Laos or getting stuck in Laos and having quite a special backpacking experience.
Yeah.
And Corona restrictions, I think it kind of changed everyone's way of thinking in a way. And I would say mine more to the positive. And, I would say I've learned to live with uncertainty, or to enjoy also the beauty of it. Because I'm maybe it's because I'm Swiss or whatever, but I was always super planning ahead and super planned in my head. I always have a plan about, okay, then we're going to do this and this and this, and this is how it's all going to work. And I think I'm trying to learn the balance between this and also, don't be afraid if something doesn't work right away or something. Some things take time. Like I remember I told you this year I wanted to. The idea was to do more filming and maybe become make some money off it or become a professional like you.
Yeah, I'm
like
barely a professional.
And I realized, well, I haven't really had too much focus. I would really need to focus on that and just do that, and then I would probably be successful. But I come to the realization that maybe it's not time right now. I think things will come to you when it's time. When it's it still has to ripen. I mean, like I said, with the whole sailing story, maybe I'm going to become a sailing photographer. Who knows? Yeah. Some people have become interested.
Yeah.
So I feel like whatever, if it's time for something, then there'll be a way. And you can always also kind of, if you believe in God, then you can say, okay, when God leads you to this, then He will make a way. Or if it's God's will that you do this, then He will make a way. And so I've been quite on the other side that whatever if you have a dream, then let nothing stop you from this dream and just pursue with all your power and everything. And I feel like sometimes we need to understand that, hey, maybe it's a dream, but maybe it's not time right now. Maybe it's time later.
Yeah.
So because there's a lot of things that I'd love to do that would probably become another passion for me. But my problem is I have too many passions.
Yeah.
So there's so many things I still want to do, places to go to, things I want to learn, and you can't do all of it right now. So I have to focus on what's in front of me. Things that just come to me. Like now it's Project Van Life, then it's Project Northern Lights, and then it's going to be Project Rainforest, and then it's going to be Project this and that, and then maybe it's going to be Project to settle down, find a house, or I don't know.
Get married, have a kid.
That woman, I don't know.
White picket fence.
So married, yeah, that would be more of a long-term project. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but.
Wait, Joel, how old are you now? How old are you? I forgot. Are you the same age as me?
No, I'm 28, 2 years younger.
Oh, whoa. So young.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, I don't always feel young, but this is also one thing that we have to. I'm sorry.
Accept.
Something else.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would have service here, but I'm really happy that I can show you this backyard, because otherwise I would have had to drive back to the main road.
No, it's amazing. I mean,
and that well, I could have showed you the van, but not the nice backyard.
Oh, I was honestly, yeah, I'm so pleased with this. I'm so pleased with seeing the backyard. One other question: what do you do with all the time that you have? I feel like you must have a lot of time on your hands.
I have a lot of time. Well, I don't know. If you're really wealthy in one respect, you also learn to be very generous with it.
Yeah.
You could maybe say, well, if you're not greedy. But it's funny because. Yeah, I have 24 hours as well, but they pass so quickly sometimes. I don't know where the day goes. I mean, okay, so we have one in the afternoon, and so far, what have I done? Woke up, made some breakfast, went down to the beach, and then this interview. And then after this, I will probably go back down to the beach, and then we'll probably come back here, have dinner, and yeah. So
that's crazy. It sounds.
You start to be very, very, not generous in a way that you're not greedy with your time. Like, I'm not looking at the watch. Okay, it's 1. I think I should maybe stop the interview right because I have another appointment. My agenda. This was actually my first point on the agenda.
Nice.
After picking Angelica up from the airport, which was like 10 days ago, a week ago. So this is also very, very freeing that I don't have any schedules to follow. I can just chill here, and if I feel like doing nothing, I do nothing, and which is, I think, very good for me because I've been, or I used to be very, very productive or very, very restless. Like I couldn't just chill and tan on the beach for an entire day. I would get restless, and after 2 hours, I would have to do something else. I would get bored, but I kind of learned to just chill, and it's funny because if you have the time, then you take the time. It takes ages for us to get breakfast sometimes, because we just chill. But I feel like it's a good thing. Sometimes I really go to sleep and wonder what did I really do today? Oh, and I want to work out as well. I try to keep this as a daily routine.
Oh, that's good.
It doesn't always work. But because other than that, I don't really do a lot of sports right now. You just drive around the van and sit in the van, so you don't move too much.
What does your family and friends think about all this?
They're mostly supportive.
Oh, that's great.
Well, especially this van life project right now. I heard, you're doing the right thing. My parents had some, I would say, adjustment time to do when I told them that I'm going to travel to Southeast Asia for a while. and then it's not finding a job is not going to be the first thing I'll do. Maybe till then, maybe by then I really feel like working, and then I guess I'll work. But if not, then I'll do something else. And working right now is not a priority for me. As long as I can afford to say this, this is a luxury, and this is basically this is what I'm buying myself with the money I earned. And if money has to come in, then I guess I'll work again. But with the idea of saving it, or like we said, we don't, as when you spend less, when you have less things that you need to buy, less running costs, then you can save more money.
Yeah.
But mostly I think they think it's pretty cool. Also maybe because I've always been kind of the crazy guy doing these amazing adventures, also in the mountains and everything. So I think they kind of expected me that I would, succeed in this, or that this would suit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I remember the two whose vans this actually is. When they said we wanted to hitchhike around the world,
Yeah.
They had a lot of people saying to them, this is not going to work, or what. I don't know. Just some people had doubts. And which is funny because now that they tried again, now that they tried sailing across the Atlantic again the second time, they had a lot less people saying these kind of things, or a lot more support, because people see, it kind of works. They made it all the way to Spain and then to the Canaries the first time. They've lived in a van for a couple of months, so it works for them. And I guess when people see that, then they don't really have a lot of arguments against it anymore.
Yeah. Wait, so what's your plans now for the future then? Like, I mean, you have to get the van back to Switzerland, right?
So I have to get the van back to Switzerland by the end of November, and then I have a month to kill till Christmas. I hope to be able to do maybe 1 or 2 film jobs in the place where I did the civil service. I actually also did some short clips for them. That would be amazing. If not, then I have so much video footage that I'm sitting on that I want to edit at some point. There's actually a fourth part of the Laos lockdown documentary that's been sitting on my laptop for like months actually. It's kind of ready to show, but not really yet. Like the 80% are done, but then the last 20%, I'm sure you know how that is.
Yeah.
They take a lot of time, and during the lockdown, I had all the time in the world, and and nothing else to do. I think that's the important part.
Yeah.
So I just did those 3. Now I have other things to do, namely to just sit here and enjoy this view, which sometimes takes some time. And then I have another video from the Philippines, and it's just so much footage. And like you said, upload all this to stock footage, or make a website where I can sell my services, or all of these things.
Yeah.
That's the productive me. There's always something that I can do. Like I'm never bored,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's actually good to be bored, or just to sit here and not do anything.
I totally agree.
I'm still learning this. So this is December, and then this is also I saw this in a Facebook group that works kind of like Workaway, if you know what that is. Basically you can. There's people saying, we need help on our farm. We'll give you food and accommodation, and you just work for like 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you can just stay as long as you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can even make some money. And so I'm in this Facebook group, which is it's in German. It's not only for Germans, but it's in German. And I saw this offer, a Swiss couple having a hotel or a lodge up in Lapland, in Swedish Lapland.
Wow.
And they need helpers for the season, namely in the kitchen and the service, and also in the outdoor tours that they do. And I was like, well, if that doesn't sound like me, I don't know what does. So I wrote them, and I have time for the entire season, and I have time until April. So now what I'm going to do, if everything goes well with the corona, so far Sweden is still a little bit more open than the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there in Swedish Lapland, all the way in the north, doing husky tours, snowmobile tours, snowshoe tours, and all these kind of things.
No way.
which is amazing because I've been wanting to see the Northern Lights for quite a while,
Yeah.
and it was actually an idea for this fall to go to somewhere in the north and to see the Northern Lights. But I don't want to go just for 1 or 2 weeks and pay a lot of money to some hotel and then do a tour.
Yeah.
And now I can actually be on the other side. I can actually offer these tours, and also I have 4 months to do this. So it doesn't have to be perfect the first week. Maybe the first 3 times I'll just look at them, and then the 4th time I'll take my camera with me maybe.
Yeah.
So I'll really be able to enjoy the Northern Lights. Which I'm really, really looking forward to.
So this is happening.
This is happening, yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, like, if we don't have a contract, I mean, we just vote on Facebook and, you'll come and maybe till then the world will be completely closed off again.
Hopefully not.
Which can happen, but, we, this is, I think a year before, last year, this would probably have been kind of a problem for me, but now I'm just like, if it doesn't happen, then something else will happen.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll go back to backpacking through Latin America, which is apparently opening up. So,
yeah. That's amazing.
So
maybe we'll have to do another
I'm
live stream.
really looking forward to. And so I'm enjoying as much sun as I still can, and then I'll have to say goodbye to the sun for a couple of weeks or months.
Yeah.
But we'll see something else, something beautiful. And then after that, we'll probably the next thing will come around the corner by then. I actually didn't expect my plans to be fixed for basically the first half of 2021.
Yeah.
So soon. I thought I would come back in November and then sometime in December decide what I would do with January, February. And now I already have this project going on. So this brings me back to what I say. When things are ripe, then they'll fall into your hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, so I'm gonna end the live stream here. There's so many people watching. It's crazy.
Really?
No.
Hi guys.
I think we peaked at like 2 viewers. But maybe a few people will watch later. We'll see. Anyways.
Well,